You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Folks, let's go to Tennessee, where the black student who was shot and killed in the bathroom at Austin East Magnet High School in Knoxville did not shoot the wounded school resource officer. You might have been seeing this story, folks. In the initial report, which y'all know we've been down this path before, in the initial report, police claimed that 17-year-old Anthony J. Thompson Jr. shot at the officer. But the report from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says Thompson never fired his gun. Yes, it appears another police officer shot him during the incident. Okay, now the result of the investigation, the result of the Bureau's investigation will be given to the school district attorney when complete. How many times are we going to have to deal with lies from police officers about shootings? Here is a young African American who's dead. Dead because the cops fired and they lied. So how many more times are we going to have to deal with the lies? I have continuously said, Michael, that if a cop lies on the report, automatic firing. Because we saw what took place in Chicago with the story yesterday.
Right.
When the cops lie, the prosecutor, they only hear their story. They don't hear an alternative view. So they accept that as the truth. So they go to court, and now you have the police officer, now the prosecutor who lay out the facts. The judges go, okay, we trust them. There we go. No, they lie. This is why, we have to question every single time there's a cop shooting. We have to automatically assume they're lying.
Yeah, we have to get the facts on these different types of shootings. This reminds me of Breonna Taylor, and they said that the police said that Breonna Taylor's boyfriend shot one of the officers in the leg. But then we look at the I think it was the Kentucky State Bureau of Investigation. One of the analysis said it was inconclusive that it was his gun that fired the shot that hit the officer in the leg. I think we've talked about that before. Once again, this is why, one, you have to get the facts. Two, officers that lie on police reports have to be held accountable, have to be fired. And then this ties into what we saw in Chicago, and we see the video of the 13-year-old turns around, and Toledo, he turns around at him, and it appears his hands are empty, but it's a split second from him turning around that he gets shot. And he's compliant. He's doing what the officer told him to do. So, once again, this is example why we have to get the facts, hold police accountable, and also on the flip side of this, we got to push hard to get the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act passed in the Senate as well. I know it's an uphill battle.
But that's solely separate. What I'm talking about is that's a federal law. What I'm talking about here,
I said on the flip side.
But what I'm talking here, Xavier, that has to happen. City leaders have to simply say in negotiations, Xavier, if these officers lie in reports, they lose their jobs. Period.
We got to go beyond that, Roland. We do. Because we saw the whole Jussie Smollett situation. You know, the whole issue with the right was him filing a false police report, and that's a crime. But if a police officer files a false police report, we're talking about firing when people's lives could potentially be at stake. If you are engaging the process of law, if there are plenty of other professions that are governed a certain way, just like we saw Bernie Madoff, he died this week. In the financial profession, if you go beyond a certain level of professional standard, it is a crime. So if you're using the color of law to be able to file false police reports, lie on police reports, and this leads to people losing their freedom, that should be a crime. There needs to be a change in the model penal code. And also we see a lot of these different police trials that there are specific charges that really mostly apply to the public, when we should be having a specific criminal statute. If you do these things under the color of law, then this is a crime. The purpose of statutes on the criminal books is to deter crime. And so that's what we need to do to be able to keep officers from using their position, using their authority to be able to abuse it and run afoul of the law and figure that they can just do it over and over again.
Teresa?
I agree, because most of the reports that are given by police are the almost like the agency of record, in a court of law. So, God forbid something happens to the officer after he gives that report. Well, if we need to, ask that officer something and unfortunately he gets slain in the line of duty for another incident, we only have that report to justify that case. And it's so unfortunate because as many times as we have heard police officers, I made a mistake. Maybe I embellished a little bit. There's no accountability. And, Xavier was spot on as it relates to ensuring that some more laws and more probably just reprimand on police officers and their conduct, and really probably just making sure that the reports are uphold to the same criminal activity. I mean, because look, the point of the matter is a lot of police officers do not like to do reports, and so some may just write casually what they saw, but that report would really be almost like a final testimony in the midst of a court hearing if it gets there.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. I mean, hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.